Welcome back, YouTube. So in today's video, we're going to cover the macros of the market, take a look at some of the price action in crypto, and just kind of get an overall idea of where we are. We've seen some pretty decent price bumps today, even Bitcoin hitting roughly around like $23,000. So we're going to take a look here at the pools of liquidity and take a look at the charts as well. So as you can see here, there is tremendous amount of pressure. We're going to start Bitcoin, obviously it's the market indicator, but you'll see that there's a really tremendous amount of pressure to get the coin down. But those sell orders certainly came in here, which are really just, I won't say overwhelming, but this is a big drop here. This is a lot of sell orders coming in, and it actually broke through two pools of liquidity. And I want to take, because I don't have the opportunity to point this out often, but technically those pools of liquidity, or especially down to the bottom, are buy orders. And technically the only way to overcome those buy orders is to put a strong amount of sell orders in to drive it through. And they broke through technically two floors of pools of liquidity to drive the price down. That is very, very telling here. And you'll see that we have like pretty much some moderate sell orders here. Then as we hit the pools of liquidity, these sell orders get massive. They get massive. And finally, we hit the third floor down here at around 23,000 even. And that's when, or I guess the sell orders kind of like ran out, or they were, they got tired of fighting and whatnot, and then we got a bounce. And then we came back and retested it again and got a bounce. And we haven't went back up quite until these buy orders here at 23.2, but you see that we're kind of breaking off here to the right and consolidating roughly around 23.40 at the moment. And this is live, by the way. So this is charting second by second. This is via book map, which is obviously in between the candlestick actions. If you guys want this program, I have a link in the description. So it's actually very useful. But you'll see that we are actually breaking off into the right here. And of course, technically, you saw that we have the rally in Ethereum, Dogecoin, pretty much just the market overall. And you'll see like the sentiment saying, oh, is this a big pump? Is this the rally to the moon? Is it over? Have we bottomed? This stuff like that. Personally, I don't believe so, especially with the news that we have coming next week with the macros and stuff. We'll talk about that a little later. But I personally don't believe that we're at a position to bottom. But you know how the market is. You know how the internet is. You get one green candle, then it's off to the races. But that is not the case, especially when we see the sentiments in the market overall. And you'll see. We'll take a look here at Doge, and Doge is pretty much having its battle between 6.7, 6.8. You'll see that the pools of liquidity here are 6, 7, 8 right now is going to be where you have the moderate buy orders coming in. 6, 7, 7 is when they get really strong, and 6, 8, 2 is right where the sells are. So obviously not the same volume and stuff that you're going to see with like a Bitcoin, but you'll see that pools of liquidity are going to run a lot tighter to the price action, and you'll see it kind of just ping pong in between that, unless there's like a really, really big move. But you'll see the buy orders here are really, really strong. If you take a look out here to the right at around like 6, 7, 3. So, and technically this is these are the biggest candles you see, even compared to the sells up top here. So, and the shorts have been pretty moderate. We'll take a look at that in TradingView, but overall, this is a really good position to be in going into the night. So I don't expect any big drop-offs unless it's around like 4 a.m. or something like that, which is their normal sneak attack times, right? And you'll see that Bitcoin has actually come up and consolidated roughly at around its 50-day moving average. So literally just went right up, touched it, and we got like a little consolidation off of it, but still at a really, really low 23, even now a high 22s. For the 50-day moving average for BTC. So that is in itself is not necessarily bullish. I would say we'd have to come up here and break this previous high before I said anything like, oh, maybe this is like a retest or a chance of a reversal or something like that. But as of right now, in my opinion, we're not even in range for the crypto market to do a reversal. So that's not something I'm worried about right now, especially with the macros that's coming out next week. Let's take a look here at Doge. Even if we look here, you'll see that we're coming up to roughly our 50-day moving average. So both of these coins and this is probably why if you look at like a general chart and you're not like zooming out a bit, you'll see that, oh, well, both of them are breaking above the 21-day moving average. So we can expect like some big candles and stuff like that. Again, I don't see that happening right now, but we are close to consolidating to around our 50-day moving average. And I would need to see the same thing like kind of with Bitcoin. Before I said, oh, this is evidence of reversal, I need to come up and see us test this previous high, which for us is going to be around 8.1, which is something we did around June 8th. So I see for us to, so for Bitcoin, I see around 29,000. You'll say, oh, okay, this is somewhat of evidence of reversal. For Doge, I say around like 8 cents. This will say, oh, okay, well, we're coming up and we're testing that previous high here, and we'll see kind of how that fares out. And we start talking about reversal and crypto markets and bull runs and stuff like that. But until then, I don't think it's in the topic of discussion. And a side note here, we'll see that we have another, I believe this is a fund that has crypto exposure around 18%, and they are also freezing withdrawals. I felt like this was noteworthy of making a state of the market because overall, this is a really big indicator to the continued message that I give about removing your coins from the exchanges, because this here is only 18% exposure, and they're already freezing withdrawals because that 18% can obviously be 18% wiped out if they are, depending on like which funds and stuff that they're using. And it pretty much just says that Skybridge Capital has suspended withdrawals from its Legion Strategies Fund, one of the firm's funds with crypto exposure. I want to see. Our board made the decision to temporarily suspend until we can raise capital inside the fund. The fund is unlevered, so there's definitely no fear of any liquidation whatsoever. And about 18% of the fund is what we would call crypto exposure. So he's saying there's no fear of liquidations. This is pretty much just a precautionary method. Believe that at your own risk, obviously, if you have exposure in this fund. But I'm just using this to paint the picture of the overall state of the market that we're in. And this is very dangerous times to have your crypto exposure be in a fund or certainly being held on an exchange. So as I do often here, I highly recommend you move your coins and have them in your own possession. I know it's an additional investment. I know it's actually inconvenient for some people, but you want to know what's more inconvenient is making the right decisions, being in the right plays, investing in the right coins, and then losing them, and then missing out on 100% of your gains. So, it's just my opinion. Obviously, everyone is set to do what they want, but these exchanges all make money in a very similar ways. And to me, it's not worth the risk. So I would strongly consider getting yourself something like a ledger. And I have a link in the description for that. So you can go directly to the site and not worry about any of the BS. But so let's get into the macros here and why I don't believe that outside of the confirmation and us hitting those previous highs in the market, why I don't believe that we are going to have a reversal here soon, because technically we've had 2 negative quarters. Textbook definition is that we are in a recession. We also have 40-year high inflation and the basis point hikes that we've been doing, and the fact that Jerome Powell has been talking about inflation and dealing with it for over a year now, and we have not even put a dent in it or had 1 month of a retraction or reversal, which means that all of the rate hikes and this tapering and all this BS that we've been doing so far has technically been unaffected. So this is really, really bad overall, and they're probably going to have to seriously consider raising the rate yet again and going a full point or even higher to try and get at least a negative month. Because right now, this is where we're going to August, which is the 8th month of the year, inflation has outpaced us the entire year. Every time we take a countermeasure or the 0.25, 0.50, and all that kind of stuff like that, inflation has outpaced us, and it continues to do so. And unfortunately, going into August, we have no more answers than we did when we were still printing money in February and March, which is really bad, on the long term, which is why we've had our yield curve invert 3 times this year. It doesn't that doesn't scream like security or invest for the long term. This says that, hey, we have no idea what's going to happen. The Fed is really goofing this up. If you want your money, you better get a really, really high interest rate for it or get cash heavy, because you can actually probably get better deals in the event this stuff continues to come down, because obviously the Fed is not doing a good job at it. So those are not really bullish terms that you would say, oh yeah, this is definitely getting ready to take off to the moon. This is a great opportunity here to blast off. That's not really bullish terms here. So that in itself is kind of like the gray cloud over the market. And that, and coupled with the fact that we haven't broke or even close to our previous highs, percentage-wise or number-wise, I'd say that we have some time here before we can start screaming market reversals and stuff like that. But I do believe these are still great entries. And we know that crypto is relatively explosive and unpredictable when it comes down to those gains. So if you are sitting on the sidelines and stuff like that, I would not suggest trying to time the market or worrying about whether or not Bitcoin is going to go down dramatically more. Yes, it has room to do so, but or worry about Ethereum going down dramatically more. Yes, it has room to do so. Dogecoin, yes, it has room to do so, but you have to focus, especially now we have this opportunity window over a period of time on coin count. That's going to be your multiplier. So keep that in mind going forward and making sure that you're doing your due diligence and not just reading into the short term because we get a green candle and say, oh, this is a reversal. Look at the macros, look at the state of the markets. That's why I make this video, so that you can have an additional idea of what's going on. So hope you guys found value in that. If you are looking for a platform that does not lend your shares that you can actually invest in and also get 10 free stocks, you can check out Mumu. I have a link for them in the description section, and you can get up to 10 free stocks at around $2,500 in value by opening an account and depositing any amount. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys personally for 40,000 subscribers. We just hit it yesterday, I believe, and it has been an incredible journey. So I really thank you guys for that. And thank you, all 40,000 of you, really. And I'm going to do something and probably give away like some shirts and stuff like that. But I will let you guys know in the community section and in the upcoming video, but I'll do it before this month is out. But thank you all. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.